Melon, melon, con melon. Meloncollieflaur です。Hello, Atomic Star. Hello, Milo. Milo Seal. Con melon. Hope you guys are doing well. I am meloncollieflaur, and you know what today is, right? It's Watermelon Wednesday. SUIKA水曜日だよ. The weeks are going by pretty quickly, actually. Interestingly enough, it'll be the end of the year, before we know it. But, we've made it to the middle of the week. Just a few more days until the weekend. Summer, do we like that? I think so. It feels that way. But keep working hard, on everything that you do, be it school or work, or any of the projects that you work on as well. Continue to do your best. I believe in you. おはようございます。こんにちは。こんばんは。私はメロンカリフラワーです。今日の配信はスイカゲームだよ。So, let's get started. Oh wait. Okay. But yeah, summer is kind of weird. It's very hot, but then like the weather in general is very confusing too. I feel like this is the hottest it's been for quite some time actually. And there has been a lot of storms all over the place too. So it's very like weird and scary at the same time. And it's really funny too. Like with the whole weeks going by thing. You wouldn't think about it, but it's like there are 52 weeks in a year. And it's like you don't think much about it because you think 52 is kind of low. Because it's 52 weeks, 12 months. But each month has like 30 to 31 days, excluding February. So time does go by, but the thing is, you have 24 hours in a day and you're usually awake for about 12 to 16 hours, I guess. And when you're in school, like when you're younger and you're in school, everything is fast paced. And it makes it seem like time is infinite. Ireland had a heat wave last week, and as soon as it turned Monday this week, back to normal rain. Oh, I see. So, okay, so you guys ended up getting a heat wave then. Yeah, for my neck of the woods and whatnot, it's been hot, but it's been rainy and stormy, for a few days each week. It's been kind of scary, actually. I hope things calm down soon, but I'm not sure. Cause summer basically, that was cool. Summer basically just started about, well, I guess summer didn't just start. It started maybe, what, 2 months ago or a month and a half ago? And seasons are usually about 3 months, yeah. Drawdown and Kyogre activities, it feels that way. It definitely feels that way. But yeah, the weather has been very interesting this year. But yeah, I don't know what a lot of countries do whenever things get really hot, since the way that people handle heat household wise differs from country to country. It seems that people are more prepared for like the cold than the heat. Ruby and Sapphire stories are kind of weird, having the opposite team be seen in a sort of positive light. Yeah, that's true. Actually. Because you are confronted with the story of the color. So a Sapphire, you're confronting Aqua, who are the bad guys. So you don't really see Magma as much. So it makes it seem like Magma is the liberating group. And then vice versa for Ruby with Magma. But they both technically have the same goal. And apparently they're either both colorblind or they just think that the opposite thing is supposed to happen with the opposite color. It's such a weird plot point too. Because I can't understand how each one would think that the opposite color orb would make them control the other. But I guess also at the same time, if you think about it, when you look at the cutscene, or the title bit for Emerald, I think it's Emerald, you see the markings on both Groudon and Kyogre. And how, well, Groudon is red but has like the blue lines, and Kyogre is blue but has the red lines. So maybe you could say that that's what they thought would be the right thing. Maybe. If it ever showed that within their lore and whatnot, or like in a book within lore in the game. It's just one overpowers the other. Yeah, exactly. But they do have the opposite color Lati, depending on the version. Oh yeah, that too. They have the opposite color Lati as well. But that's the funny thing too. Groudon is a ground type, but it's practically a volcano. So I bet it was very confusing for a lot of people when they first played, because they were thinking, oh, Groudon, right? But it's red, it's like fiery, but the name is Groudon, it's a ground type. But it mostly does like fire things instead. It's like a Lugia situation, I guess. Where Lugia is a psychic flying type, but is underwater. So people used to think that Lugia was a water type, or a water flying type, or something like that. Just had to wait a decade for its primal form. Yeah, in Mystery Dungeon. Well, not in Mystery Dungeon, but in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, yeah. I thought that was very interesting, because that's one of the few times where canons were like put together, I guess. Since you had like Primal Dialga in Mystery Dungeon, and then you get like primal forms for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire in like a main game. Ohayou gozaimasu. Welcome, nice to see you. O genki desu ka? Nemoimasu ka? Primal Dialga is neat. Yeah. It was definitely a very interesting thing. Pokemon has been doing like the time thing for a while. I guess they started ever since with Gen 2 Johto, with Celebi. And then I guess with Gen 4 they did it as well with Dialga and Palkia. Well, I guess Dialga because of time. But then I guess they did the space thing with Deoxys. But at the same time, there wasn't much of like explanation of Deoxys in Gen 3, because Deoxys was more of an event Pokemon. So Deoxys wasn't really talked about in Gen 3 at all, because it was like basically within the code, and you weren't necessarily supposed to get them unless you went to the event and stuff. So nothing really alludes to Deoxys except for the whole Birth Island thing. And then Gen 4 happens, and they talk a little bit about Deoxys, I guess, in Gen 4. Genki wa... Is that Moody? Not entirely sure. No, not Moody. What's that kanji, actually? Chotto Melon. Let me see. Do this. Grab that. And then search. And paste. Oh, it's Nai. Is it? Genki wa nai. Genki wa nai? Not feeling good. Not doing well. I'm sorry to hear that, actually. Ganbarimasu. Ganbatte, ganbatte. 気をつけてね。お大事に、お大事に。Okay. There were actually some event stuff in Northern Ireland for Pokemon for the Deoxys thing and Deoxys lore. Also Melon. Because I know most of the lore stuff for Gen 3 was focused on obviously the box legendaries and the Reggies. Which I guess, wouldn't that make Gen 3 the game with the most legendaries, I guess? Or was it Gen 4? Or Gen 5, rather? Because Gen 3 had a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe it's the same amount. Just say, oh, Spook, come on. Hope you're doing well today. I think it was Gen 4 events. Okay. Because Gen 4 also brought back a lot of the Gen 3 stuff. Where you needed all 3 Reggies in order to get Regigigas. And stuff like that. I think. Maybe Gen 4 had the most legendaries. In one game. It's either Gen 4 or Gen 5. I'm not entirely sure. Hello. Do we count mythicals or legendaries? That's the thing, Milo. To this day, I don't know the difference. I don't know the difference between legendaries and mythicals. I never learned. I guess the emotion trio count as mythical then? Or do they count as legendaries? Cause I don't know. And that's my own fault. I never really learned. Mythicals are mostly seen as little guys. So Mew? And I guess legendaries are big like Entei, Raikou, Suiken, Ho-Oh, Lugia. Marshadow is pretty cool. Is Marshadow a mythical or a legendary? $1570. 1670. Mythical. Okay. Naruhodo Melon. Because the Manaphy thing always confused me. I can only assume that Manaphy is a mythical. And it was really difficult trying to get not just Manaphy, but getting Fione or Fion or however you pronounce the name. Fion. I should probably look up the Japanese pronunciation. It might be a little bit easier. What? There we go. Oh. Okay. Let's see. The peaches are too big. Ah. Oh, nice. Okay, Melon. Also, today's great glitch announced the murder drones grabbing. Oh, I see. Nice. Hopefully it's good. Oh. An adaptation or an adaptation of the 8 episodes of the first season. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. Nice. That's really good. Hello, Bob. Come on. Hope you're doing well. Huh. And Bonanza comes out tomorrow. Nice. Are you gonna get it? Are you gonna play it? Want to hold off until later this year? Really? Why is that? Wah, 1827. 1827. Mostly because of other stuff, but also I'm already playing through Shaft Pair and Super Paper Mario. Yeah, I guess so. But Shaft Pair and Super Paper Mario have already come out. And you've played them before. Yeah, Sapphire. Want to at least finish them, but you have. Unless you're going for a personal best, I would assume. Chapter 6 Prologue. Chapter 6 Prologue. So the beginning of Chapter 6? I think. But before going through the door. Huh? Oh! That's what that means. Okay. I see, I see. I understand. Wakatta, Melon. By the time you spend exploring Flip-Flop side before going to the next chapter. Right, yeah. I had to think about that. Yeah. Basically, intermission. And also explore new areas with the new abilities, right? Melon, I'm drawing all the Hoenn Pokemon and I'm on Breloom right now. Did you know its arm stretches really long when it punches? I feel like I've read that somewhere. And it doesn't surprise me considering it is like a... supposed to be like a fighting type. I guess it's supposed to be like... it's supposed to stretch the way that Hitmonlee's legs stretch, maybe? I feel like I vaguely would have remembered that, yeah. That is very interesting though. And it explains why it's so fast too. It has like mantis claws. Yeah. It shook me to my core when I saw its arms stretch in the 3D games. Oh really? I should take a look at that. I didn't think about that actually. Then again, I didn't use Breloom much in 3D. And Breloom is one of my favorites. Always has been. Oh. Breloom is the goat, yeah. Does it also have to do with you being a plant too? Maybe. who's to say, really? I mean, I like fire types too. I think Flareon's really nice. I think Finnegan's really nice. Finneon or Luminion. They're really cool too. I think Motham's really cute. I also got a Swablu and named it Nimby. Yeah, so it's really funny about that because hold on. I remember naming a Rabombi Lovebee. Glaceon is also great. Glaceon's really good too. Glaceon's really cool. A lot of people don't like ice types though. And I think it has more to do with the lack of coverage. Seeing that it has a lot of weaknesses and only resists itself. Motham being cute is a first. I've never heard that. Really? Motham's really cute. I like Motham a lot, actually. I guess this was also at a time where before I realized how cute moth Pokemon were. Because for a while when I did play the Gen 3 games, I wondered why anyone would ever pick like Dustox. Because I didn't think Dustox was cute at the time. But then Dustox grew on me later. And it's pretty obvious that like butterflies are supposed to kind of look beautiful unless they're trying to ward off their prey. Kind of like Masquerain. But then again, I don't really know if Masquerain counts as like a butterfly. But it's meant to deter, you know, their predators. But yeah, I think Motham's cute. I like Motham more than Wormadam, honestly. I mean, we got Seals, Walrus, Ghost Women. Yeah, they're ice type. Well, Seal's not an ice type, but Dugong is. I think. Seal is just water, right? 1904. 1904. Yeah. There weren't very many ice types in Gen 1. Frost Dance is also pretty cool. Frost Dance is really cool. The ghost, the ice ghost type. I had that with Venomoth, then Venonat grew on me, and then I used one. It genuinely surprised me. Right? Yeah. I like Venomoth a lot too. Like I said, it's been a while, and it's pretty clear that moths were meant to look less beautiful than butterflies. But yeah, I like Venomoth a lot as well. So I think I do like moth Pokemon a lot, or moths in general. They're so, like, moths are very chill. I guess that's why we have Frostmoth. I think that's the name. I don't remember. But like, they're very harmless, kind of like ladybugs. Yeah, they just eat clothes, yeah. I guess butterflies spin the silk and whatnot and make the clothes, and then the moths eat the clothes. So it's almost like, if you look at it in this kind of way, it's like butterflies provide for a family of moths in terms of clothing, as food, and then moths eat the food. So it's almost like butterflies are like the breadwinner or something, and then moths eat the food or something. Have you seen the moth plushies that are made from that Plague Doctor plushie company? I have not. I've never heard of this before, actually. Volbeat is really only used for shiny hunting. Volbeat's ability isn't very useful, right? It's like Illuminate, yeah? or something like that. Or am I wrong? Gen 3 had a lot of abilities that, well, since it introduced abilities, it had a lot of abilities that weren't very useful either in battle or when you're alone, like with puzzle mining. Yeah, but you get encounters faster with it. Yeah, right, you're right. Yeah, because it attracts the light. Meanwhile, Intimidate does the opposite. I'm a huge fan of using Sweet Scent, since you don't really have to move to attract Pokemon. I love how those plushies feel. The material is so soft for both the Plague Doctors and moths. I've never heard of this company before. Actually, the white flute also helps. I've never actually used the flutes like ever. I always wondered, because I know that you could make the flutes and stuff in Hoenn with like the soot sack and stuff, or just gathering the soot. But I never really used the flutes ever, funnily enough. Yeah. One day I'll buy one, or 30 of them. I don't know if you should buy 30. 5 wouldn't be bad though. I think that's something that's really cool. How Pokemon is a collect 'em all, catch 'em all type of game. And you can actually capitalize on that even more with plushies. So you can actually legitimately get like the physical media of it. I guess it's not really called media maybe, but people love collecting plushies, and I think that's really cool. I do wonder what the largest Pokemon plush is though. Not counting, I guess, human-sized Gardevoir? I'm not sure. It would be really funny if they did make a lot of plushies based on like a specific scale. So like, if they made Pokemon to scale, but in the sense of plushie form, like what's the biggest you can make a plushie? Like legally. Then you would scale that to be whatever the largest or tallest Pokemon would be. And then you would scale from there, going from large to small, for making plushies. I would assume, and I don't mean like Gigantamax, but like I would assume like the skyscraper Pokemon maybe would be the tallest. Or maybe even Celesteela, maybe? The Ultra Beast, maybe? Life-size Wailord plush as soon as possible. True. That definitely would be a large one. I'm surprised that's not one. I'm surprised there's not a Wailord, or Spheal, what's it called? Plushmallow? Squishmallow? Since they're round like eggs anyway, or just round in general. That should have been like the first they made. I've seen the Eevee one, and I've seen a Chansey. Those are the only two I've seen so far, at least that are very large. Spheal Squishmallow would be cute. I'm really surprised that it's not a thing. 1046. 1046. But everyone already knows the formula to selling plushies or cute things. Basically, if it has beady eyes or if it's round, then it's more than likely going to sell. And it doesn't have to have the most detail either. I have Clefairy and Gengar in my room. I heavily considered getting Fuecoco. Or consider getting Fuecoco. I don't see why not. Melon plushie? I'm too small. Yeah, I think I would be very marketable as a plushie for sure. However, I don't think that I'm popular enough for that. I would say that my design is pretty simple, but I'm very small. In both size, stature, and channel-wise. Like, the plushie thing is definitely a spend money to make money situation. You have to spend quality, like, time figuring out... Because it takes money to actually get them to make it, and then you need to merchandise it, basically. I'm sure it would sell. Might even put me on the radar even more. But... I'm very small. The future always holds surprises. That's true. Sometimes people become popular much later. I always say that SUIKA game got popular 2 years after its release. And got translations done because of how popular it became. And even got I guess it's a sponsor, but a collaboration with that one movie as well. A few months ago. Kickstarters are also an option when you get to that stage. Right. But even then with Kickstarter, you still need enough people for it to get funded and stuff like that. Merch is expensive. However, if there's a future where there ever is a Melon plush, I'd buy. Yeah. I'll be honest, I'd want one of my own as well. I'm not going to act like that I would not, because I definitely would want one. Especially in an era where we're craving a lot more physical things. Since everything has become very digital and stuff. And it's really funny when you think about it too, because you think, okay, well, physical stuff, obviously there's durability. There's going to be wear and tear or something like that, but at least you have it. So later you think some physical things are a little bit cumbersome. It would be nice if you could just have everything close knit together, like digital and like organized and stuff. And you wouldn't lose it because it's preserved. But then even digital things corrupt and stuff like that, and you may lose the files, especially if you can't find the files anywhere anywhere because, you know, over time, especially with CD-ROMs for like computers, you can't really play old games anymore. You have to use something like, I guess, DOSBox or something like a virtual machine in order to go back to some of those things, especially if the games don't get remade or something like that. So, life-size melon, 1 foot 3 inches. I'll be honest, I don't know my actual scale. I've always been bad at scales, so I'm not sure what my scale would actually be. I should probably solidify that and I guess compare myself to like other, like, I guess dog-sized Pokemon maybe, and either make myself bigger or smaller, dependent, and just solidify that or canonize the size meloncollieflaur incoming? I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I can fit into a flower pot, so... But then again, flower pots can be different sizes as well. So, who knows? So maybe I'm bigger than a small dog and smaller than a big dog? Who knows? You'll never know. Maybe I'll figure it out. I'm bad at scaling. But it's never going to be like a Bowser situation where like my size changes all the time, where I'm either bigger or smaller depending on how I feel. So... I'm definitely smaller than a human though. Not as bad as Pokemon scaling. Well, they even put the measurements and stuff for those though in the Pokedex. And I thought it was really cool that some of the newer games would actually have them scaled in an interesting way. Or like, they are different size, like a Caterpie being very tiny. And, 1320. 1300. 20. Nidoking being shorter than a 10-year-old? Oh yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it? Because Nidoking kind of looks like a tiny Godzilla, in a way. So yeah, that is very odd. Maybe they were supposed to be kind of dwarf-like though? I'm not entirely sure. I guess in this case it would be what's considered a short king, yeah? I'm not entirely sure. I don't really know what Nido means, so I don't know the etymology of Nido. So I don't know. Art. You trapped this king. Yeah, exactly. I bet you fishing with actual Pokeballs would be very interesting and funny. I haven't watched much of the show, but I'm not entirely sure how they did that sort of thing in the show. Obviously, we can see like the anglers and whatnot, the fishers in the game with the sprites and stuff. But it still seems interesting. And yes, bait and stuff is still a thing, especially with Safari Zone stuff. So I still kind of wonder. They did Steven so dirty in the anime? Go on. I watched a little bit of like the Hoenn show, but not much. And I watched a little bit of Sinnoh as well. I don't think I watched anything past Sinnoh. No, that's not true. I did watch some of Unova as well. But that's about it. I don't think I went past Unova in terms of show. Got one episode just saying he likes rocks and is a strong trainer, and of course Wallace is champion in the anime. Probably based off of oh yeah, Wallace is the champion, so that means it's based off of Emerald then, yeah? Steven rocks. Steven rocks. Steven Stone. As opposed to Steven Steel. Somewhat, it would have been neat to actually see them interact. Oh, Stephen and Wallace? I suppose so. Hmm. Steven Steele would definitely be more on the nose, but Stone is kind of a sick last name. Yeah. I mean, you know, Steven Stone. Stone Cold. I don't know. But he liked, I don't know, he was a steel type trainer. I mean, granted, steel rock, right? Because Aaron. I think Aaron is steel rock. I think so. I do think the Aaron line is very cute, actually. All the way up. Aaron, Laron, Agron. I like all three. The wall. Kinda like Bastiodon. Wow. It feels like every gen has like a rock type gym almost, huh? And again, I guess everyone has a water one as well. Melon. Lots of important fights use Altaria, but I think if it's best with Winona. Yeah. Altaria is pretty cool. Really, really cool. Mega Aggron is also pure steel. Right. That's right. I forgot about that. And it gets... What's the ability that it gets? Is it solid rock or something like that? Kind of like Rhyperior, or am I wrong? I don't remember. Because I used to run like a I forget what the ability is called, but I used to run Aggron with the one where it doesn't take recoil damage. So I don't remember the name of that ability. Gotta learn all about Megas again before ZA? I suppose so. Unless they change things. I guess the hottest of takes is that, at least for me, I wasn't a huge fan of Megas when they first came out. Because I was still on the mindset of, well, you know, Pokemon evolved to like 3 at most. And so it was kind of weird to do the whole, they can go further beyond with Mega Evolution, and only certain Pokemon could. And then they kind of did something weird with like the favoritism with, well, not favoritism per se, because all of the Gen 1 starters got it, but like it was weird to give it to like that. Oh, there was favoritism because Charizard did get 2 and Mewtwo got 2, and Mewtwo didn't really need one, but I understood what they were trying to do because of Origin, like the original generation, like Gen 1 and stuff, Kanto. But certain Pokemon didn't really need it and certain did. I thought it was fine that Audino got it, one of the few from like a later gen. Beedrill was kind of cool. I guess Pidgeotto was pretty cool. Pidgeot was pretty cool. But when you see like a legendary or a mythical getting like a mega, it's kind of weird. And then DNC got it is too, I think. So it kind of soured my mood a bit in the beginning. But it was really cool once they did Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby, and started adding more. But at the same time, it was still kind of weird. I guess I prefer Mega over Gigantamax. But I do like Terrestrialization. I think that's really cool. There's also Pokemon Direct on the 22nd this month. I think you did say that, didn't you, Milo? You said that. I think you said that last time. Because I said, oh yeah, that's the day after my debut. My original debut. They probably gave them 2 because of Smash Brothers. But I don't know about that. Because like, didn't that come out after? Smash Brothers came out way after X and Y, yeah? And plus with Smash Brothers, didn't they choose a Mega form? Didn't they choose Mega Y for Smash 4? Maybe it's something related to Pokken or something? I'm not sure. Either way, it was kind of weird to me. I mean, it's good that only Pokemon that are fully evolved, though, do get it. Because it would be kind of weird if, like, Pikachu got a Mega Evolution and then Raichu didn't. Greninja was being made at the same time as X and Y, I think, so it's not too far off from what I recall. Yeah, Greninja is Pokemon X and Y. That's true. Though it was interesting that those starters didn't get Mega Evolution forms. For Smash, I mean. Mega Y for Mewtwo and X for Charizard. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, that makes more sense. Since Charizard X was more favorable and Mewtwo Y was more favorable. I still think it's really funny that Mewtwo in general basically looks like a Dragon Ball Z character. So Mewtwo Y looks like Majin Buu. And Mewtwo kind of looks like Frieza. Anyway. Surely they knew. Right? Ash Greninja? Yeah, Ash Greninja. But that's not Mega. That's more of a Link thing. That's a special thing. That's literally a fusion thing. That's a Dragon Ball Z thing. Fuse with your Pokemon. Then again, I guess Bill was doing it before it was cool, so 2-for-1 deal at Costco with me too. Really? That sounds really funny to me. 2-for-1 deal at Costco with Mewtwo. Then there was a Venustoys in the anime, yeah. In the movie. Or no, not the movie. It was the Ghastly thing, yeah. It was the Ghastly episode. But y'all assume that they actually made work later in Pokemon Infinite Fusion as well. With the Mongoose. With the Mongoose. I'm still led to believe that Ninetales was meant to be like maybe part ghost. I know that it gets like psychic ability because like I would assume that Ninetales is kind of like a yokai or like a kami type. But I feel like based on like, you know, will-o-wisp and stuff, I feel like it's supposed to be like a ghost type as well. Especially with it shiny. Well, fire shiny, I guess. I should draw that. Maybe give the tips of the tail like dark purple accents. I think the shiny one is like that. Thoughts on the Hex Maniacs? Hex Maniacs are interesting. But the fairy tale ones or fairy tamer ones or what have you are scarier than Hex Maniacs. I don't know if anyone remembers playing through X and Y at all. But the fairy tamers were very unhinged. The internet ruined the Hex Maniacs. I guess so. Yeah, because I guess no one talks about the fairy ones at all. 1333. I'll do one more. But yeah. But you would always see like Hex Maniacs and the fairy trainers like near each other for the most part, and the fairy ones are so brutal in their speech or their text. Very, very scary. I was gonna say Milo, yeah. I guess. Yeah, the internet has ruined a lot of the Pokemon stuff. Fairies are scary, yeah. There are a lot of Pokemon that were meant to just be innocent, but people chose to do what they did. For no real reason, really. Buttermane is another scary fairy. Well, I mean, to be fairy. Buttermane is also derived from like a ghost type, I guess. I don't remember its abilities. Or not abilities. Its types. Is it ghost fairy? Or is it dark fairy? I don't remember. Yeah, and people for real went, did you know? I mean, that's Vaporeon. Specifically Vaporeon, and I'm not entirely sure why. Because usually people would go after like human-shaped Pokemon and stuff. Maybe. But Vaporeon doesn't really show a sign of human shape at all. And the fact that people went specifically after Vaporeon specifically is very odd to me. So yeah. It's just a water doggo. Exactly. That's what I don't understand. No one talks about Gothitelle or Jinx. But we did get, I guess, Gardevoir and Lopunny, I suppose. So you could tell that people were into specifics, I guess, when it came to that sort of thing. The life-size plushies as well. Oh yeah, the Gardevoir. I think I did mention that earlier. Vaporeon one as well, yes. And then there was Reshiram at some point. I wish I had big spending money to get life-size Espeon. That's the thing too, no one talks about Espeon at all either. No one talks about Espeon or Jolteon, and they're really good. Melon. I know Flareon was very unfortunate in terms of like the stat stuff, since it was more of a physical attacker and fire was special for such a long time, and didn't become very viable until Flame Charge became a thing in Gen 5. But there's no excuse for like Espeon and Jolteon, but no one talks about them. I know a lot of people prefer Vaporeon and Umbreon the most, and Sylveon, but Sylveon's the newest one, so. I think Espeon is really cute, especially in its Unite circus outfit. I do like that Unite added like outfits and stuff for them. It looks really cool. I think it's really nice. Jolteon did get Pin Missile in Gen 1. Indeed so. I think that's because of its needles, even though Pin Missile is a bug move. But it made sense. I think it made sense. Because it makes about as much sense as a lot of flying types getting Heat Wave, which I think is just Hot Wind in Japanese. And that's one thing I really liked about move mixing, and how it actually made sense for the Pokemon to learn the move, not because it was the same type as the Pokemon, but because of the name of the move or what it was. Granted, there are some Pokemon who can learn Fly, who don't have wings, and there are some Pokemon, or don't float rather, and some Pokemon that can learn, I guess, like a punch move even though they don't have arms and stuff like that. But otherwise, some of the other moves kind of make sense. Because you would go, why would a butterfly use like psychic moves? Well, it's because the wings were to confuse the predators. So that's why Butterfree learns confusion and psychic and stuff. And like, so like moths and butterflies basically learn those attacks. Mantine would have been so cool to fly. Mantine ended up being like Gyarados in the sense that it could surf but not fly. Then again, I think Gyarados is probably based more off of like a Chinese dragon type situation. I'm not entirely sure. Though I do know that I think in Gen 2 it could have learned or got close to learning all of the beam attacks, like Flamethrower, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt maybe? Because Gen 1 and 2 were very odd with their movesets. That's why Pokemon Stadium is so difficult. Because you don't expect a lot of the moves to actually be what they are, or to actually go to the Pokemon. Like Rhydon and Nidoking or Nidoqueen being able to use like Surf or Thunder, I think. Very confusing. Considering that they're weak to it. Well, I mean, Kangaskhan, I think, could do something like that too. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I love that Mantine so much. Yeah. Hyper. Dugong in Stadium 2 in rentals is also overpowered. Is it Stadium 2 or is it Stadium 1 as well? Since you could just keep sleeping. Sleeping, sleep tops, sleeping, or resting? Sleep top, rest, or something like that? Just Stadium 2? Are you sure? Oh yeah, because Sleep Talk is a thing in Gen 2. I don't think Sleep Talk is a thing in Gen 1. I think. Hmm. Seal's a Pokemon? Yeah, true. But how many seals are there in Pokemon? Ah, 1910. Dugong, Walrein, Samurott, Marina. Oh, I see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1910. 1910. But yeah. That's a SUIKA game for today. 見てくれてありがとう。来てくれてありがとう。Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This was really fun today. Pokemon talk is always fun. Milo Tick is very fun too. Yeah, Milo. It's a serpent. Great stream as always. I appreciate it. I plan to play Super Paper Mario this week. So it may be tomorrow, it may be Friday, it may even be Saturday. I'm not sure yet. But I plan on playing Super Paper Mario this week. So look forward to that. Yeah. Let's go to the heavens. Yeah. So of course, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when I go live, since I stream irregularly. And I'm meloncollieflaur, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye. Oh, it's Melon.